Do you ever feel like everyone around you is somehow just doing life better than you? That no matter what you do, you're somehow left in the dust or unable to fulfill your potential? Why is it that we always believe in everyone else around us more than our own selves? Why is it that we go out of our way to support people and their dreams, meanwhile are so hard on ourselves? We look down at ourselves or think everyone else can achieve what they want except for us. We see failures in our accomplishments because other people's accomplishments are more worthy for some reason. We downplay everything we ever do because it's never enough. I wonder if we had the option of going outside our body and looking at ourselves from an objective lens, what we'd see. What would you notice? Would we still be so heartless? We sit so hand in hand with our worries and fears that we get scared to break free from them. Because what else would anchor our lives then? If not negative voices and emotions that we're just so used to, like an old comfort of sadness that we can't bear to let go of. It's addictive. If only I lost 10 more pounds, had a bigger butt, longer hair, smaller nose, just a little more money to afford those overpriced outfits. If only I had more friends. If only I had more attention and people to love and care about me. All we ever need in life is to feel wanted and loved, and we tend to fill that void into temporary things that will never work. But then we beat ourselves up and feel guilty for indulging, and end up going harder into toxic, unhealthy habits and feelings. I wonder what would happen if we just did things without factoring in what the whole world might think of us. You are here for a reason, for a purpose. You are loved, and most of all, you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You are beautiful the way you are. You have a purpose to bloom exactly where you are. So, let's talk about how to really glow up in 2021, both mentally and physically. Number 1, don't share your goals with people. This really sounds backwards, but I heard it a couple years back and tried it out with some challenges, and it really worked for me. I think as soon as you put a name and label on something, it automatically creates so much pressure and expectations. And then when you don't live up to that, you just continue giving people ammunition to put you down for it, which just creates this endless guilty cycle. And then you genuinely start believing that you can't ever get anything done, that you're just too lazy or too far gone. Something that also stresses me out is when people are like, oh, well, you're so good at this, you'll finish this in no time, or underplay your goals just because of past performance. Just because I enjoy writing doesn't make it easier if I want to write a novel, for example. So when people start praising you before you even started, it's hard to live up to that unrealistic version for yourself. So if I don't wake up early one day, for example, it's not like I'm failing my goal. It gives more space for backtracking, and when you have that option of freedom, you'll be more willing to actually do the thing. If you don't do it one day, you can always try again the next day. Number 2, what motivates yourself? I think if there's nothing motivating you to do something, then you'll fail straight off the bat. I've been trying to wake up at 5 to 6 a.m. for my own free will for like a year now. And then I'll wake up in the morning when it's dark and I'll be like, but what am I going to do this early in the morning? Is it really more important than sleep right now? And then that logical side of my brain always wins, and I turn over and continue sleeping. I think it's the same to any other goals. You have to ask yourself the why. Why do I want to accomplish this? And you have to know yourself enough to understand what type of reward system works for you. For me, for example, I always want to prove to myself that I can do it. So for me, monthly challenges work, because the consistency of doing something every day is insane for me. So a structured daily system works because it forces me to want to prove it to myself to do the dang thing. Especially if you're a procrastinator, it gives you this sense of urgency. I know it doesn't work for everyone, but honestly it has been life-changing for me. It's how I was able to eat healthier for a month straight, vlog every day in my travels for 3 weeks straight, run 2 kilometers every day for a week, write a novel every day for 30 days straight, cut out TV shows and Netflix for 30 days, and edit a bunch of travel videos in a short period of time. Something that I highly recommend, but also use those challenges according to your lifestyle. I actually love going out for runs, so if you've never ran in your life and then want to run every day for 2 kilometers, you'll go insane. Start with smaller, more reachable goals. That way, if you go above and beyond, you'll feel even better about yourself. Sometimes we look at people who are natural goal getters, but they just have a different work ethic than us. Different enneagrams mean you just function and see the world differently, and you have to find what fits into your personality. If you're not an achiever, for example, it doesn't mean we're any less capable. It just means we need to find different techniques to motivate us. So basically, this takes a lot of soul searching and researching. Number 3, do hard things just because they're hard. I saw this on a Twitter thread and was really inspired, so I just wanted to share it with you as well. This one girl wrote that she wakes up at 5 a.m. every day just because it's hard, and she wants to discipline herself to learn how to do the hard things. We mostly think that treating ourselves is constantly giving in to the things that our mind tells us to do, like taking a bath, ordering that pizza, or buying that chocolate cake. But a really wise friend put it this way for me, that the best way you can actually treat yourself is the opposite. Knowing that, for example, eating pizza every day is bad for you. So the way to treat yourself is actually to simply say no, because you know that that's what your body needs. It's the self-disciplining yourself and saying no to continuous unhealthy choices that is the ultimate treating yourself, because you love yourself so much to only fill it with good things. But of course, all in moderation. Don't be so strict that you don't enjoy it anymore. Then when you finally get yourself an iced coffee or fries, you feel guilty. No. I am a firm believer that you have to do one thing every day that will bring you joy. A small thing, but it really is the small things in life that add up to happiness. As well, I think most of the time our problem is that we want to quit all our toxic habits all at once. For me, every week I'm like, that's it. Next week is the last. I'll stop buying iced coffee, I'll wake up at 5 a.m. and work out for an hour, then I'll read for an hour, write for an hour, film for a few hours, and walk every day for 10,000 steps, and so on and so forth. We can't do all the things all at the same time. It's impossible for things that are so defined inside your DNA at this point as habits to just quit all of a sudden. And I'm always the person that wants to see results right away. Patience is hard, so I don't want to wait. But it doesn't work that way. Pick a couple of things that you want to do significant changes to and start with those, and ease your way into them. Growing and changing the wired stuff inside is hard and doesn't fade away in a split second. We're not going there anymore. We're not feeling bad for ourselves anymore. We're doing the things to actually promote healthy changes. Number 4, show up for yourself. I was actually lucky enough to meet James Clear, author of Atomic Habits, so while I didn't get a chance to actually read the book yet, I worked in publishing and he summarized key points in a presentation that really blew me away. His How to Get 1% Better Every Day is really mind-blowing. He says that creating the consistency of a habit is more important than actually doing the thing. So if you want to work out twice a week, for example, you can start with putting your shoes on, changing into your workout gear, and leaving your house. And you've done it. You've done the hardest part, which is starting. And then if you do that a couple more times, even if you don't actually work out, you're training yourself into the habit of getting ready and doing the hardest part, going through the motions. And then next time you can drive into the gym and walk inside, but you don't actually have to work out. Walking inside alone is creating that habit within. So after a few weeks, let's say, you won't have to consistently fight yourself. Am I really going to go work out today, right now? Like, I don't feel like it. No, you'll put on your shoes, change your clothes, drive to the gym, and because you've started that habit, it'll be easier to actually start working out. Really, the thing that's hardest for me is riling up the motivation to start. The endurance and strength of it all is all in your mind. So once you reign over that, you'll be able to do the easy part. You'll win over your emotions and feelings. Number 5, take away all distractions. Literally disconnect completely. You have to look at your life and figure out what is taking up all of your time. Is it watching Netflix, reading books, napping? Whatever it may be the cause of you always feeling sluggish, unproductive, and lazy. Sometimes it's hard to manage our lives in balanced proportions, so those are the times that it would be the most effective to have detoxes. If you find yourself living on social media, have a 1-month detox. Same with Netflix. Stop watching movies for an entire month and see how much your schedule opens up. First, you'll be like, so what do I do with my life now? And then you'll be forced to get things done because there really isn't anything else to do. So you might as well. Instead of spending 7 hours on my phone, now I spend, 1 or 2. I'll scroll on social media for a bit and then delete the app for the day, especially in the evening time, so I don't mindlessly scroll first thing in the morning. It's been a game changer. One thing that I've started doing for a while is going against the current of my procrastination waves. If something needs to be done, and I get that voice that'll tell me I can do it later, I'll take a minute to grumble and be annoyed, and then do the thing right away. Because it will always make my future self's life easier if I do it now. I'm still not totally mastering this part, but it has helped me a ton so far. The most important thing to keep in mind is to continue. Whatever it is that you are doing, this is your sign that you should continue. People may laugh, they may not understand, they may judge you or even be jealous of you for doing things that might be so untraditional, but it's not their journey. We constantly are looking for people to validate us because I think that's all what we've been conditioned to be and to do in school. Everything we've ever done had to be graded, so it taught us that other people's approval matters. But it's not true. There are so many celebrities I've heard say in either interviews or their memoirs that even after being stable for years in the industry, they were constantly thinking, have I made it? And it never feels like you have. I think no matter how great your life looks on paper, we're always going to have things that we're figuring out on the way. And even though that's incredibly frustrating, it also makes life less boring because you literally have the power to change your life. And every step you take is what establishes that fate. You don't need anyone else to tell you you're on the right track or not. In those hardest parts of life, remember that it was you who was there to pick you up in the broken pieces. It was you who comforted yourself, and it was all you who got through it. No one will ever be there for you like you. Make building confidence within yourself a priority for 2021. You may be scared, but that's okay. Be scared, but just do it anyways.